What's up everyone? So this video is sponsored by all of you. Thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. It really helps the channel out, and none of this would be possible without the viewers like you. So, some of you might have seen in my community tab that I ordered a cantilever rear suspension setup for my Scx10 here. So I'm going to get that installed, but I wanted to show you why I'm doing that. And that's because I'd like to run an actual bed on here that's separate to, you know, flex around and work like a real truck bed. But them dang shock hoops are always in the way. So right now they're off because I wanted to fit the bed and cut it and everything so it'll work. Because I'm going to start with this bed till I can get the stuff to make an actual flat bed or get over to a friend's house that can. Now, why don't I just run it like this? It's too loose and sloppy. So, I mean, I don't need suspension like that. That's just, I don't like it. So I'm going to put this on here and hopefully it does way better. So let me get the first side on and then I'll show you the install on the second side. I've got one side installed. Now let's put this side together on camera so you can see how this all goes together. So first, I'm going to put a little bit of grease on these parts so that the bearings don't get stuck when it comes time to replace them. So I'm going to put a thin layer on the bearing. And then I'm also going to add a little bit inside the bearing brace right here. And that should be good. Same thing on the other side. And that's that. Now, take this piece right here and put the short end on the side that has a hole that does not go all the way through. This side goes on the side with the longer pin. Then, you want to take this piece and it goes in between the bearings. Then you take this spacer right here, and on the side that goes all the way through, put this side that's got the little ring on it on the inside of this. And you've got the first part down. Next, we have to put screws in for both the shock and the lower link. Oops, brain fart here. Now I want the side without that hole to be facing outwards. So that is why I did it the way I did. I'm not going to tighten anything down super tight because I'm going to take it apart and put Loctite on it later. Now the link here is kind of tricky to get screwed together, so I'm going to do that off camera. I got the link put together. Yes, it's going to get a little scratched up when you're doing that. Not much I can do about it. So I'm going to put this together and I'm going to put the bigger side on the inside. Okay, now we need to install the cantilever on this bracket right here. So that takes one of these really long screws. It'll go through that bushing and then into this. And then that's where this little nut here comes into play. So I'm going to tighten this down good. This is a lock nut too, so you don't got to worry about Loctite here. And there. Now let me move the camera so we can mount this on the truck. Here we go. First, of course, take the wheel off. Next, we need to take these screws out. Obviously, if you had the shock towers on, you'd remove the shock tower. Okay, now you take the two screws that are countersunk, and those, the first one goes on the inside hole, and then obviously the second one goes right here. Really, these things should come with instructions for people that aren't super mechanically inclined, but it wasn't too hard to work out. So there we go. Now I'm just going to reuse this screw on the bottom part. Now I did have to use a longer screw for this bit because the ones that it come with just weren't as long as I'd like, and they were working loose, just messing around with the other side when I put it on there. So I happen to have these screws laying around, and they're actually a little bit longer to where it actually sticks through, and I can put a nut on the other side if I wanted. So for the shock here, put these little O-rings over the bushings. There we go. And then I put this side on the outside of the shock. Whoop. Butterfingers. Anyways, that on the outside, and then this thinner part on the inside of the shock. Run the screw through. And use this little spacer. Then you can just put the screw in. Need the handle for this. There we go. Put our wheel back on. So they're both installed. I hope that helps someone out who is struggling to install these. I had to look at the pictures on eBay in order to kind of piece it together. But I figured it out and they seem to work great. As you can see, plenty of articulation. And they feel pretty good. I might need to put thicker oil in them. Right now it's only got 30 weight, but that's all I had. And you can see, even with the flat bottom on this, all the way on the chassis, the shocks work just fine. So I think that's gonna do pretty good. I'm gonna try to get a couple shots, maybe hang the GoPro off or something of these in action on the trail. I don't know yet. We'll see how that goes, but for now, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and as always, like if you did and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel out and it's free. And be sure to hit that bell icon to turn on all notifications. That way you're notified of whenever I post. I'll see you in the next one where we'll try this out.